one. With me right now, a very special guest. Donald Trump is joining us, chairman and president of the Trump Organization, who got involved in the Arias case himself. Mr. Trump, thank you for being with us.
Hi, Nancy.
It's great to hear your voice. I'm very interested in how you became so invested in the Arias trial, and you offered your own thoughts on the case, actually tweeting Arias, she should take a deal. Now, you're the master of the deal. Give me your thoughts.
Well, it all began where, first of all, it's an amazingly vicious and crazy trial, and it certainly is interesting, I think, to anybody, including business people like myself. It's, you know, whatever it may be, whether it's we're dealing with psychology, we're dealing with a mess, and it certainly is interesting. But as you know, a little while ago, it was reported that she was tweeting me or following me or both, and following my tweets. And it was sort of interesting because I wasn't tweeting about her until I found out about this. And then that became a big story. And it sort of, I don't know, I just got very interested in it. I watch it. It's somewhat of a travesty to have a person on the stand for many, many, many days. And I think she really loved being on the stand, if I'm a judge of this stuff. But I actually think she loved it. And I find it to be an amazingly interesting case.
You know, everyone with me is Donald Trump. We are all taking your calls. He has actually learned that Arias has followed him and tweeted to him, and he tweeted back that Arias should take a deal. Now, we all know Trump is the master of the deal. Why do you think Arias should take a deal? I doubt at this point, Mr. Trump, that anybody would even offer her a deal because, you know, here's the way it works. As you already know, you and I have discussed cases in the past. The prosecution may offer a deal at the beginning, basically so as not to put the victim's families through such hell as a jury trial. But then once you prepare your case, you take it to a jury, you put up weeks of evidence, hundreds of exhibits, make your closing arguments. There's no incentive for the prosecution to allow a deal at this point. But what would you have suggested to her?
Well, I would have said make a deal to get out of the death penalty, for one. But I will tell you, with the jury being out so long, I'm a little surprised. I mean, it seemed to me to be a very obvious case. I mean, she's guilty as hell. I mean, I can't even conceive of what's going on. She lied numerous times. First she didn't do it, then she did it, then she doesn't remember anything. I mean, you can only lie so many times, and she's been out there so much. And this would be a real travesty if something very substantial didn't happen here. But as you know, and I think you may be surprised, I'm not sure your attitude on that one, although I have been watching you, Nancy, but you may be surprised that the jury's out this long. I would have thought it would have been a much faster decision than this. So maybe she knows something we don't know.
That's what I was just about to ask you. I was just about to ask you that. What is going on with the jury? I thought they seemed so grounded.
Well, I would have said that the jury would have been back fairly quickly with one and probably death penalty. I mean, you know, look, this was brutal, the extent of it. The shots, the many, many, many stab wounds, the cutting of the throat. I would have said that this would have been a very quick and very easy one. But you look at other trials that have taken place, and whether it's O.J. or others, and, you know, you never really know how juries are going to come back. I just was listening to your show, and they were saying that there seems to be a little anxiety in the faces of some of the jurors, a little maybe anger at each other. That's not a very good sign, I think, for the prosecution. At the same time, I've been through many trials, fortunately not a murder trial, but I've been through many trials myself, and I've had some where the jury comes back fast. That's supposed to be good, and it's not good. I've had some where, oh, gee, they've been out for weeks, and all of a sudden they come back, and that was supposed to be bad. It turned out to be great. So I'm not sure we can read too much into it. You understand that better than I do, Nancy, but I will say I am very surprised that they didn't come back with a